Hi everyone, my name is Richard Santoro and I welcome you to Third and Zen, the YouTube channel where every week we're sharing spiritual message to nourish ourselves, heart, mind, body, and soul. First, thanks for stopping by the channel. Thanks for checking out today's video. I hope this video finds you doing well. I hope you're taking the time to care for yourself, heart, mind, body, and soul. If you feel like liking this video, hitting that little thumbs up, if you feel like subscribing to the channel, if you feel like sharing this video with anyone that you think might benefit, it would help a great deal. So if you feel like taking the time to do that, thank you in advance. And again, thanks for stopping by the channel. So with all that being said, why don't we all just take a moment and get ourselves prepared for today's message. So maybe if you feel comfortable, take a nice deep breath. Take a moment maybe and just breathe. That's it. Just sit there. Just sit, breathe with no expectations, no responsibilities right now, nothing that you need to worry about except allowing yourself to be present, allowing yourself to be open, available. Invite yourself to be here now in the present moment. So just take a few deep breaths, maybe loosen your posture. Relax, soften into this moment. Just be still. Just be relaxed. Just be open. And let's get started with today's message, shall we? So when I wrote this message some years ago, I was thinking about something that most people that are at the pulpit delivering a message tend to not worry about too much. I was wondering, if there was a topic that I could preach about that everyone listening would connect with or could connect with, something that I could stand up and talk about and it would strike a chord with every single person who was present. You see, usually we have to put that aside when we're at the pulpit because not everyone is going to connect with every single message topic. And that's really something that we can't worry about when we're delivering a message. We have to set that aside. A healthy mindset is that even if you reach just one person, that's great, that's perfect. But I did want to know, I wanted to know, what could I preach about? What topic could I preach about that everyone would connect with? So I started reflecting on potential topics that would hold everyone's attention and that all of us, including us here now, could connect with. First, I thought about the topic of forgiveness. Surely we can all relate to forgiveness in some level, but then I started to think, forgiveness for ourselves or forgiveness for others, moments of forgiveness in our past or moments that we need to forgive in the present or in the future, the forgiveness of God or of other people. So I thought, no, that topic is a little all over the place, might not connect with everyone. But I also thought about the fact recently that I've never really preached on forgiveness, and I think I might need to do that, but I digress. So then I thought, what about love? We can all connect with that, can't we? But again, a little all over the place because there's all types of love, romantic and passionate and friends and family, the love of God, the love for God, giving love, receiving love. Too much, too complex for everyone to really 100% connect with that. Okay, so then I thought about maybe everyone could connect with a message about God and or Jesus. But again, no, not everyone approaches or connects with God or Jesus in the same way. For some, it's God the Father, while others do not connect with the masculine or patriarchal idea of God. And many people approach and connect with Jesus differently. Jesus the divine, Jesus the man, Jesus in the Gospels, Jesus for today. So that topic wouldn't work with connecting with everybody. But I really did, at the time when I wrote this, wanted to find a message topic that everyone could relate to, everyone would connect with, and everyone would be fully engaged with. Well, my friends, as you might be guessing, I did find a topic, I did find something that we then and we right now could all connect with. A message topic that we all feel a part of. So right now, I want everyone to be fully present and do just a very brief exercise. I'm going to ask you a question, And if this applies to you, if you can relate to this, I want you, wherever you are right now, to raise your hand. I want you to think in the affirmative. Think about it. Let me know, or let us know, or just let yourself know right now if you find life to be challenging at any time. If you find that life isn't always easy. If you find that during the course of your daily life, weekly life, yearly life, your life in general, you have a hard time, that life can just be hard sometimes. Does that apply to you? I think it does, right? I think it applies to everyone that is watching. I think it applies to all of us. So I think that we have something that each and every one of us can relate to. Something that we all have in common. Everyone has a hard time. Every one of us, everywhere around us, finds that life isn't easy. So there it is. That's our unifier. That is the common denominator amongst all of us. Something that we can all connect with, and coincidentally something that I can talk about here, that I can preach about, that I can deliver a message about, and everyone can relate to. Life is hard for all of us. So now that we have that common denominator amongst all of us, that life is hard for all of us and that none of us have it easy, let's take it a step further, shall we? I'd like to share with you what I think is one of the absolute true statements and philosophies ever put forth in human wisdom. It has been attributed mostly to the Greek philosopher Plato, but I've seen it quoted different ways by a lot of people. And Plato said, be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. Again, be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. And I've seen that quote add on. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle that you know nothing about. It's a great proverb of wisdom. Variations of this quote and this philosophy have been attributed, like I said, to many people. But that's because many wise people have said this thing because it is such a true statement. Life is hard for all of us. So be kind. Be nice. Nobody is immune to the hardships of life. So just be kind. We're all struggling. So be kind. Everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle that we know nothing about. So be kind. It doesn't matter who it is. Everyone we meet is fighting a hard battle. So be kind. It doesn't matter if it is someone young, middle-aged, older. Everyone we meet is fighting a hard battle. So be kind. Doesn't matter if someone is on the lower end of the financial spectrum or middle of the road or very well off or even well above that. Everyone we meet is fighting a hard battle. So be kind. Doesn't matter the religion, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, or so on, or any religious tradition or no religious traditions or belief. Everyone we meet is fighting a hard battle. So be kind. Doesn't matter the nationality, it doesn't matter legal, illegal, or status, or any of those other labels. Gay, straight, transgender, LGBTQIA, single, married, divorced, kids, no kids, drug user, addict, criminal, volunteer, retiree, welfare recipient, Democrat, Republican, independent, liberal, conservative, somewhere in between, sports fan, not sports fan, educated, maybe not as educated, or whatever the status or label might be. Everyone we meet is fighting a hard battle. So be kind. Sometimes we forget that just because people look a certain way, or act a certain way, or live a certain lifestyle, believe certain things, sometimes we forget that on a daily basis, life is hard for each and every one of us. It's not easy. It's a struggle. So be kind. In person, over the phone, driving past one another in a car, through social media, or what have you. Be kind. Life is hard. It's such a great common denominator. Everyone can agree on that and feel that vibe. So be kind. It's really quite simple. Life is hard for everyone. So be kind. Now, many of you who are watching this, many who know me and maybe have heard my messages on this channel before and over the years, you may know that I do tend to function a certain way with my messages. For me, it isn't just about saying something that is valuable or a directive of some sort, but a big part of it is also the why. The why. Why do I feel a need to find a message that everyone could connect with? Why that introduction? Why did I feel the need to find a unifier and a common denominator for all of us? Why did I feel the need to let each of us know that each of us find life hard and that we should just be kind? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let me give us 3 reasons why I feel the need today to have us find the common denominator and remind us that we're all so very much connected, so much more often than we realize. First, let's be honest. These days, way too much separates us. American, foreign, legal, illegal, gay, straight, or other, Christian, non-Christian, black, white, gender differences, conservative, liberal. I alluded to others before. Too much separates us. There are too many dividing labels and finger pointing in our society. And my friends, sometimes we need to be reminded that dividing ourselves like this just isn't a loving way or a healthy way to go about things, or in line with parts of Scripture. And sometimes we need to be reminded that we're all more alike than we think. We're all struggling. We're all in this together and not having an easy time of it. So that's the first reason why I felt that we needed to have a common denominator reminder today. Now, the second reason why I felt that we needed a reminder that we all have this great common denominator and unifier, that we all struggle and find life hard and therefore we should just be kind, is because it just makes life simpler. We're all struggling, so be kind. It's that simple. We don't need to decipher if someone is deserving of our kindness or not, and we don't need to judge them in any way. They are struggling just like us, and their life is hard just like our life is hard. So be kind. It makes life simpler. We're all struggling. We're all having a hard time. Don't decipher or judge. Just be kind. It's that simple. Anytime we can make life simpler and easier, yeah, let's do that. Now, the third and last reason why I felt that it was important for us to find a common denominator is this: because of Jesus. Plain and simple. And to expand a little bit more on the plain and simple, there exists in our society a culture of Christianity that does not actually walk in the footsteps of Jesus. There exists in our society a culture of Christianity that, while professing to be Christian, does not actually follow the teachings of Jesus, does not live how Jesus lived, nor treat others how Jesus did. There exists in our society a culture of Christianity that I would call insincere and off the mark, and it needs to be addressed. Christians in our society, there exists Christians in our society who prefer to use as a first option judgment, aggression, perhaps even hostility, perhaps even violence as a first option with people that they have issue with. And that's just not Christ-like. There is an element of Christians in our society who not only do not embrace the outcasts and the unloved and those who need love, but also cause them to be outcast and unloved. The homeless, the needy, the poverty-stricken, the hungry, the drug-addicted, those with mental issues, the physically ill, the welfare recipient, the non-American, the non-Christian. And my friends, that is just not Christ-like. There is an element of Christians that, as I mentioned, prefer to divide us up by labels: American and not American, legal citizen and not legal citizen, Christian and not Christian, heterosexual or homosexual, or any of the other labels that people have major issues with. This persistent need to divide us up, the carving out of little groups for us to be in, and therefore be deserving of this or that, of love or of help, of saying, you are this, and therefore you should not have this. And I am this, and therefore I deserve this, and you do not. That is not Christ-like. That is not how Jesus lived. That is not the example that he left for us. And that is not in line with the teachings that he professed. Just the opposite. Let's see. Not judgment, aggression, hostility, violence, but kindness. That was Jesus. Not rejection or withholding or outcasting, but kindness. That was Jesus. Not labels or dividers or lack of tolerance or acceptance, but kindness. That was Jesus. So why did I feel the need to find a message that we all can connect with? A message that shows that we all have in common that life is hard for each and every one of us, and therefore we should just be kind? Well, just to recap, 1, too much separates us, and we need to be reminded that we all have in common that life is hard, so let's be kind. 2, because it just makes life simpler to not worry anything at all about judging others or labeling others or deciding upon our own merits if they are worthy or not, but instead to remember that life is hard for all of us, so let's just be kind. And lastly, again, because I feel that there exists in modern society, modern Christian culture, a very, very un-Christian-like element, a very unkind element, a very cruel element. And that is something that is worth mentioning and worth correcting. Let's pause here for a moment, because I know I've had my foot on the gas pedal a little hard, so let's just, for a moment. In Scripture, in the letter of James, the brother of Jesus, he, in writing in the first chapter, was also similarly attempting to correct this type of behavior when he admonished people about being, and I quote, slow to speak and slow to anger, and being, here it is, doers of the word, and not merely hearers who tend to delude themselves, as James points out. And he also added warnings about supposed Christians conducting themselves in an unkind way, living in what he called an empty religion. So yeah, like James, I thought that today in the larger spectrum, it would be important to shine a light on some of that. And on a smaller, simpler scale, I just thought it was important to simply remind us that we're all having a tough time. We all have challenges. We all find that life is hard. So we should just be kind. like Jesus was kind. And speaking of how Jesus was kind, and boy, he was so wonderfully kind. It's so beautiful. The great preacher and writer, Max Lucado, gives a great meditation on the kindness of Jesus. Lucado writes, and I quote, the Gospel of Matthew insists that Jesus healed their sick, not some of their sick, not the righteous among the sick, not the deserving among the sick, but the sick. Surely, among the many thousands, there were a few people unworthy of good health. I wonder if Jesus was tempted to say to some, get out of here, buddy, and take your arrogance or your bigotry with you. And he could see not only their past, he could see their future. Undoubtedly, there were those in the multitude who would use their newfound health to hurt others. Each time Jesus healed, he had to overlook the future and the past. Something, by the way, he still does. Be kind, like Jesus was kind. We're all fighting a hard battle. We're all struggling. We all have in common that life is tough. So be kind. I'd like to close with this. A friend shared this with me, and I love it so much. There's a tribe in Africa. When someone does something wrong, they take that person to the center of the village. Then the tribe surrounds this person, and for 2 days, they say all the good things that this person has done. The tribe believes that each person is good, but sometimes people make mistakes, which are really a cry for help. They unite to reconnect this person with their good nature. Isn't that just so lovely? A community of people who believe in the goodness of others and believe in reuniting people who have made mistakes and lived tough lives with their goodness. A community of people who lead with love and kindness. A community of people who understand that life isn't easy, that each one of us struggle, each one of us find life to be hard, and each one of us need kindness. And each one of us deserve kindness. And each one of us are worthy of kindness. I think that that is about as Christ-like as it gets. So, my friends, each one of you find life to be hard. I know that. We all have that in common. So let's be kind to one another. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle that we know nothing about. Please, let's not make it harder for people. Be kind to people. Thanks be to God. Amen. Okay, my friends, that ends today's message. Again, thanks for stopping by the channel. Thanks for checking out today's video and today's message. I hope you found it fruitful in some way. I hope you found it to be a reminder that, yeah, I know life is hard, but people do care. There are kind people, and I hope that they gravitate towards you, and I hope you gravitate towards them, and I hope the love of God is abundant among all of us. I wish you nothing but peace and love on your journey. Have a great day. Have a great week. Thanks again. I love you all. Ciao.